backed out because he had trouble working with Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi?
Apparently, he said working on. I'm a big Danny Elfman fan. I read stuff.
You can read.
I read. Little known fact, I can read.
Good boy.
I can tell you what this says, and see, without me, there's no show. Because who else here knows what any of this is saying?
Board turns them squiggles into words.
All right. Anyway, he says that working with Sam Raimi on Spider-Man 2 was miserable, and he had no effective working environment. So I guess that is Sam Raimi's fault. Don't go blaming Danny Elfman.
I won't blame Danny on that aspect. Just, it was so long. I was like, Venom, Spider-Man's arch enemy comes in and
it didn't feel like a long movie. I'll tell you what, you could have had less
Sandman.
Sandman?
Yeah. I don't feel he was really needed in that movie. Besides,
and horribly cliched.
I'll tell you what, they wanted to have a story arc that would really rack Peter emotionally and make him very vulnerable to Black Suit. You already have New Goblin. Okay, this is his best friend trying to kill him.
I expected New Goblin to be like...
You did not need... Now, having them team up at the end was very, very cool.
That was cool, but...
My favorite part of the movie, next to the dance scene, I'm the only one who liked it.
I like it also.
My favorite part of the movie is the fight between Peter and Harry in Harry's apartment.
Thank you!
That is what kids to do in high school.
No, I'm gonna kick your ass.
I was like, oh, look at little Goblin Jr. You're gonna cry now? I love that. And then he turns around and throws it.
That is the essence. I think I love that
That's
part.
the rawest movie fight that I've seen since Kill Bill Volume 2.
And you know what?
The fight in the trailer.
I did love that part.
That is the right balance between action and humor, right there. They're bantering with each other, just like they would in Peter in actual.
Except Peter was being a dick.
That's true, but usually he was Black Suit.
His banter in the movies, for anyone who likes how Spider-Man talks in the movies, he's considerably less clever in the comics. Because you have 12 writers trying to put out a Spider-Man book every month. It ends up sounding like Rhino. He gets called Rhiney. That's not a nickname. That's not a he's called Venom.
It sounds like Heine.
Yeah, Gobby. That's his nickname for the Gob. Is that a nick? No, give me a break.
Okay, but however, what I like about the comics, Parker, is that he'll often talk about how bad his jokes are. And I enjoy that.
So enough about this.
Yes, wrapping up all the S-Man 3 pile. Okay, so I'll give it another rewatch when it gets released on DVD. I don't know about Tim.
Okay, well, let me put it... Of the threequels that are out this summer, probably my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Ocean's 13
For me, it goes Spider-Man 3... what are three?
Shrek the Third.
Shrek the Third comes out somewhere in the middle. Pirates 3.
Ocean's 13.
Let me tell you something. I didn't see Ocean's 13. Let me tell you something about Pirates 3.
Oh yeah, please.
I should only hope that Orlando Bloom never gets the chance to stare into my eyes, for he will claw out his own in a vain attempt to take away the madness that he glimpsed, for seated within my vitreous humors in their ever-calming waters is a demon born of rage.
Gone the form of man.
Oh my God, I was so pissed.
Explain yourself, Mike.
Okay, that movie was masturbatory. It loved itself so much. It was covering itself in all sorts of CGI.
Oh, Jack Sparrow.
Oh my God!
So many Jack Sparrows.
12 Jack Sparrows, and everybody betrays everybody.
Twice.
Yeah. What the balls?
2 was much worse than 3 in my opinion. 2 to me was worse than testicles on a plate cut off by a dog.
Speaking of Grindhouse,
that's not going to be on the thing. But yeah.
Hello, Johnny Pants again here, your diligent webmaster. As you've noticed at this point, we've gone into several discourses about testicles. Not everybody is conducive to such talk about testicles. If you don't like it, please, we urge you at this point to turn off this episode of Teen Critics, as the remainder of it includes much more talk about testicles. But
2 to me was the worst movie I've probably ever seen in a really long time.
You know what?
Our director here is laughing.
You know the thing about 2? I was okay with 2 because I read spoilers and I knew about the ending. Yeah. So I was like ready for 3. I was like, here, you can have my balls. I'm trusting you to throw them to the back of the auditorium with how awesome this is going to be. And you know what it did? Squished them. I was crest. I saw twice. I couldn't believe it. That's 6 hours of my life. That's 6 hours of my life.
It's gone forever.
That would have been better spent smashing those very same nuts in an oven. Just opening the door and crushing
Mike Pfeiffer, tell me
over. Because I hated that damn movie.
Tell me about 2 hours.
Speak now.
Tell me about 2 hours that you really actually enjoyed, surprisingly, with Hairspray.
Hairspray. All right, I'll go quick because you
Switch
guys asked
gears
me to.
entirely.
Hairspray. I am ashamed of how much I loved it. I'm a fruity theater boy, and still am ashamed of how much I loved it. It's a really fun movie. If you've never seen the musical, you'll probably like it better because they changed a lot of things from both the musical and the original 1988 movie. I thought all the songs were really catchy. Zac Efron was completely useless except as a singer and a dancer, but he looked pretty. He's a pretty boy. I don't know. I love the wardrobe was probably my favorite part of the movie, closely followed by some of the songs, even though they go on a little bit long. John Travolta was good. Christopher Walken was better.
He's better
How
in
could he
everything.
not be?
He's
I
everything
haven't
that
seen it
man
yet,
touches.
so
is incredible.
funny.
Everything that man.
I'm
touches.
excited for Balls of Fury for that very reason. So that's my review of Hairspray.
And what
If-
about Chuck and Larry?
Chuck and Larry? Out of
Haven't seen.
Out of
I
5
haven't seen
lulls,
either.
I give it a maximum of 2.
Same.
At no point in that movie did I convulse with laughter.
Yeah, it was like, okay, I didn't know if it was trying to be a whole gay community were for it or we're trying to make fun of it, and at
That's
times
the
it just wasn't
easiest
funny.
joke to make in Hollywood. Okay, guys, we need to make people laugh. What are we gonna do?
Let's talk about the gays.
Yeah, we got.
Parker's a gay. Get him in that movie.
I need photos. I need photos of gays.
We've got the fart jokes. We've kind of eliminated those. So let's move on to the next easiest thing to do: the gay joke.
So
you
stupid.
just say gay in any sentence, and it's hilarity, right? So let's just base an entire movie off.
And they
of
tried to make it all whatever. It's one of those rental movies. Watch it if it's on HBO. You guys see Harry Potter?
Yes,
Yes.
let's do that.
Okay, what you guys think
Favorite
about,
so far.
Okay.
about order?
Oh, I'll tell you what. When it started, I was very upset with the pacing, and I didn't like the way it was shot. In the first, in the first
really?
let's say 15 minutes.
The first 15 minutes were my favorite part, actually.
I thought it was well, for one, when you're working on a franchise, you have to take into account a certain amount of consistency with the others, which is of course what was blatantly, horribly wrong with the monstrosity that was Alfonso Cuarón or whatever's
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Which is really a shame because I really like Alfonso Cuarón otherwise.
You see, Prisoner of Azkaban is actually one of the best books. And what makes it great is that it's more universally accessible because it has very little to do with the other. At first glance, very little to do with the other books. But with the rest of the series, of course, now you have a lot more. I haven't finished reading book 7, so not only will
Snape
I
kills
have,
Dumbledore.
He does.
Quirrell's actually Voldemort.
It's
the
true.
The book is Voldemort. The book that Ginny has, that's Voldemort. Sirius is Harry's godfather, and also the rat actually killed all those people. And Voldemort's back and he kills Cedric Diggory.
Oh, and another thing.
Sirius dies.
Is that the
Guess
end
what?
of all the first 6?
Guess what?
Yeah.
Harry wakes up at the end. It's a dream.
Yeah.
The whole
we had the whole first season of Dallas was a dream.
Anyways,
Okay, I was talking
movie
about.
5. Yes.
Okay, and then by the time they got to Hogwarts, though, I was so much happier with how it was going. I feel like just let me finish. I'm not meaning to take
No,
over
I'm
your
not
show. I feel like the action sequences were done really cool, and they weren't like, look, CGI. Oh my God, look at all the things we can do. It was very understated. It was very brutal. Like those magic strikes. You had to cringe. They hurt like a punch to the face. You know, they were really
Well, continuing the theme of this episode, a kick to the balls.
a kick to the balls.
if you will.
I was very happy with it after. I think next time I watch it, I'll like the pacing better. See, pacing's different in the theater than when you're watching it at home.
Oh, yeah,
It's not a
Okay,
distraction.
here's my take. Almost the exact opposite. I thought that the opening 15 minutes were the best of the entire movie. I thought like the directing style did depart from the I've been watching the first 2 movies. Chris Columbus's movies.
There's more family-oriented.
Okay, not only they're all family oriented, but they're so horribly directed. It's painful. Like there's actually parts where, like, Sam, the director, we have a long shot here and then cut to close up here. You don't do that. It's awkward. It's weird.
I'll tell you what.
People jump. Oh.
What I think that they might, intentionally or not, you know how in the books, the subject matter along with the type of language and the themes got more mature as you went along.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I'm not saying they planned this, but you start with Chris Columbus as your director.
1
in
and
the
2
first
were
2.
kids' movies.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
they are. They're
They were
movies made
they
for
were
kids.
shot as kids movies. They were very big. Look at this world. Look what wonder there is.
Look at the one
and then
sheet
it
alone
gets
from
less
the first
wondrous
one.
and darker.
Yeah,
and you have less of those big establishing shots of Hogwarts. Look what a wonderful world these people live in.
It's already
and they're gonna get to a darker kind of.
And you know what?
I think that movie 7 should be directed by Christopher Nolan and movie 6,
Yeah.
movie 6 should be Christopher Nolan, and movie 7 should be M. Night Shyamalan.
That'd be no.
Well, actually,
like,
6
what
is
a twist.
Yates came back for 6.
Yates is coming.
He's back.
What you?
I mean, I liked what he
I
did.
like Yates. He's actually a television director already as it is.
What has he
And
worked on?
British
I don't know,
TV.
all British TV. I like Mike Newell's directing. I was biased on it because Donnie Brasco with Johnny Depp. I don't know if you've
Oh,
seen that.
yeah.
Yeah, he did. You like Goblet of Fire, right? The movie.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I thought
I
it
fell
was cool.
asleep.
It was
Really?
bad.
I divorced myself of Harry Potter of late.
Really?
I didn't read the 6th book, didn't read the 7th book, but
I
all
haven't
spoilers,
read.
just as
I haven't read the
movie.
5th, 6th, or
I
7th.
gotta tell you, it.
Really.
I don't think so.
That's my opinion.
I think it's like the story of our generation.